Hello and welcome to the Food and Beverage Leaders Podcast. I'm Andy Barr, owner of Barr Transportation. We're so glad you joined us today. Now, our mission here is very simple at Barr Transportation. It's to provide you with the most reliable and honest national transportation for your goods, paired with proactive communication throughout the entire life of the load. Now, this podcast is designed exactly for you. It's for sales managers, produce managers, logistics managers, traffic managers, the entire C-suite, anyone else who really wants to perform at the top of their game in this global food and beverage industry. So whether you're big or small, West Coast or East Coast, this podcast is meant for you. Now make sure to stick around at the end of each show and we'll reveal how you can apply to be on the show yourself so you can grow your authority, build partnerships, and help your business boom. Interviews are about 15 to 20 minutes long, and I'll leave you with my favorite quote: preparation plus opportunity equals success. That's it. I'll see you on the inside. Enjoy this episode.
All right, so welcome back to the Food and Beverage Leaders Podcast. Today we are with Kyle Failla. Kyle, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Right now we're going to talk about protein and cheese and Glambia Nutritionals. So, Kyle, again, it's a pleasure having you on today. And today is September 23rd, 2021. So we're getting ready for the fall. And yeah, we'll just jump right into it. So, Kyle, I understand you have a food science background as far as your education goes, and you head up the sales for the western part of the United States for Glambia. Could you tell us a little bit, what drew you to Glambia and the food service in general?
Yeah, great. You know what? It all started out while I was in college. I went to school originally as a nutrition student and started to notice that, maybe the career path being in a hospital or trying to help people with their nutrition wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, although it was something I really enjoyed doing myself. I talked to a student who was in the food science program, and he said, you know what, the food science program is pretty cool. It's basically like doing any other food science, or basically like doing any other science degree, except for at the end of your lab, you get to eat whatever you made.
Nice.
And so when they told me that, I said, sign me up for that. But I took a lot of the stuff that I learned from my nutrition classes and applied it to food science. So when I was getting towards graduation, I was focusing on companies that were nutrition specific, or companies with like Glambia were selling dairy proteins, things that I was really interested in. So I originally applied for Glambia out of college and was lucky enough to get a job. And I've been there for close to 6 years now. So it's been a while, but it's been a great time. Learned a lot. Worked with some of the best people in the industry. Learning the ropes of the nutrition and sales.
Nice. Very nice. Well, with Glambia, what would you say are their main differentiators, right? Their unique selling proposition. They're a very large company. Just looks like they're a great performer in the space. What would you say are their main advantages?
So some of the main advantages that Glambia has is that we have a lot of different business groups that work very well together. And you touched on a couple of the things that we sell. We sell whey proteins, or proteins in general. We also are really big in vitamin mineral premix, which is a big part of our company as well. We're actually the #1 supplier of whey protein isolate in the North America market, and we're probably the second largest premix provider in the North America market as well. So we do a lot of that business, and what that allows us to do is essentially help our customers across a whole, a large list of different product types. Mm-hmm. If a customer comes to us and they're looking to do R&D work for a dairy protein, we can often find ways to work with them on other projects that are, with other business groups covered by Glambia as well. So we have a large R&D group that works with a lot of our customers. We offer those R&D resources to our customers as well, which I think, depending on which customers you work with, they don't always have the bandwidth to work on smaller projects or issues that they're seeing. And so when an ingredient supplier can come to them and say, hey, look, we'll gladly work on this for you. We just appreciate it if you bought our ingredient at the end of it. I think that's a nice value proposition for a lot of customers.
Nice. So yeah, you have many tools in your tool belt. So that's nice to have a nice, many features you can bring to the customers as you can match their needs with your services. So excellent. With the food and beverage space, the protein and cheese space, what's happening right now? Are there a lot of mergers and acquisition? Are people entering the space, leaving the space? What do you see kind of on that 30,000 foot level as you are working in the space?
Yeah, man, it's a growing space for sure. We're seeing a lot of increases in business, a lot of supply and demand, that's for sure. So, for us, where we see a lot of the growth is actually in the protein snacking space. We're seeing a lot of people move into what we call the extruded space, which is think of something like a protein cereal, protein puffs. I think a big reason for that is that there's a little bit of fatigue in the industry with sweet flavors of protein snacks.
Sure.
Whereas these extruded products allow you to make savory options. So we're talking like protein cheese balls, different types of snacks, and it's just an overall different experience. So we've seen a lot of growth in that area as people start to break into that space. In addition to that, we're seeing a lot of growth on at our aseptic plant, which is basically high acid beverages, and protein beverages. So the RTD space, although we've seen maybe a little bit of a drop in overall revenues across the board in that market, this year we see that as something that's going to be picking up. And we don't have enough line time to service all our customers. It's been so, people looking for so much line time. So that's another area that we're seeing some nice growth. And
so with I just want to ask, besides protein, a lot of people are eating healthier and plant-based, and just, are you seeing any other sectors grow outside of protein?
That's where Glambia plays, does a lot of their businesses in the protein space. I will say that in the plant-based space, that's something that's obviously growing as well. That's going to start eating into some of the dairy protein market for us. One thing that Glambia has actually worked on recently is launching an ingredient that can be used for meat analogs, which is something that's a little bit different than what we've done in the past. So we're looking into plant-based meats. We're seeing that as an opportunity and a place of growth as well, and a place where Glambia wants to position itself for the future.
Nice. Okay, very good. So everyone's favorite topic, COVID. So how's business? Hopefully we're on the second half of COVID and the tail end of it. But yeah, first of all, how did you weather through it? And then how are things now? And how do you think, the rest of 2021 and 2022 will be?
Yeah. As everybody's pretty much aware, COVID's been a challenge for everybody. I think we've all had our share of issues and things that have come up, and all you can really do is take them as learning experiences and try to build off them. And it really tested a lot of your relationships out there as far as weathering kind of the storm with your customers. And for us, I think a lot of the challenges were the same for a lot of people. It's the supply and the demand. For us, dairy protein products were hit pretty hard as far as there was a lot of demand, not a lot of supply. So that usually translated to higher prices for our customers. So working through that with them. One thing that's also come up there, we actually sell flax and chia, which has had a pretty down year as well as far as crop yields go. So again, a lot of demand, not a lot of good supply, working through those types of things. And then just seeing from, logistics standpoint, getting products from China shipped over here, running into issues with pushing out lead times. If you can't get product, you can't sell it, which is always an issue.
Definitely. Yeah, no, the lead times are part of the process right now, but hopefully, right, it's on the other way, but we'll see. And that's just getting the products to the States. Then you have to ship it across the United States. So
or you gotta blend it into something else and then, test it and then ship it to your customers. So it's a lot of steps. And I think that's a lot of customers are becoming more aware of those steps.
Very good. So to close, are there any products that Glambia has, maybe a new product or something that's really taken off that you want to touch on? Anything you want to add as we close?
So what I'd like to add is I kind of just touched on there, is, Glambia just launched a new product line called Simplet, which is our plant-based meat product. It's something that is typically with plant-based meat products, you're buying an extruded product. This product is not extruded, which actually allows the entry point for most customers to be a little bit more attractive. You don't need special equipment to get into plant-based meats. You just need a blender, and we can show you how to do that. So if there's anybody out there looking to break into the plant-based meat space, we'd love to help you out. We have the R&D resources and the scalability for a lot of customers. So give us shoot us an email, or you can check us out on our website at GlambiaNutritionals.com, or you can shoot me an email at Failla, my last name Failla, at Glambia.com, and we'd be happy to help you out.
Perfect. Kyle, you're a master of the protein and a master of the plant-based protein. So
that's right.
Thanks for being on, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for listening to the Food and Beverage Leaders Podcast. I'm Andy Barr with Barr Transportation. Now, if you are a successful leader in the food and beverage space, believe in your company, and want to share your story, really look no further. All you have to do is go to bartrans.com/podcast/apply to apply to be on the show. Lastly, if you enjoyed listening to our show, please consider sharing the link or a screenshot on your social media accounts. We want to help as many people as possible who truly believe education and discussion is where it all starts. Of course, if you know someone that would be a great guest, connect us and we'll explore to see if it's a good fit. Again, thank you for listening to the Food and Beverage Leaders Podcast. And as always, we'll leave you with our favorite quote: preparation plus opportunity equals success. Now go crush life, and we'll see you again soon.